Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who, a 2-for-1 deal. Two just kind of short little stories, neither one are really considered canon. One of them is actually kind of a joke, The Curse of Fatal Death, 1999 is when this came out. So overall, it's pretty good, it's pretty funny. It was written by Stephen Moffat, so I mean years later down the road, he would actually become the showrunner for Doctor Who. Basically, it's just kind of a comedy sketch. So, overall, like Jonathan Pryce, who's a great actor, plays the Master. Rowan Atkinson, aka Mr. Bean type character, it plays the Doctor, the ninth Doctor in this. And just everything from them going back and forth, where like your mic is on, okay, now you just turned off your screen, I can still hear you, stuff like that. The race of gas people, or people who communicated through gas. Why did they go extinct? They discovered fire. Like, okay, that was pretty good. The Master and the Doctor going back and forth, like, oh, I went back in time 100 years to talk to the architect. Well, I went slightly further. Well, I went slightly further. The whole point is the Doctor's getting married, and then just them like, the Master wants to make the Doctor go through 500 miles of fear and feces, make him crawl through the sewer. But of course he falls in there, and it takes 312 years for him to get out. And then when he does get out, he finds his TARDIS. Like, there's so much to dissect in this. And then, like, he finally gets back and makes a deal with the Daleks. Well, and he has his body augmented, and I love it, because he has, like, the plunger hand, and they're like, what do you do? It doesn't matter what I do. Gets knocked in, another 312 years, gets knocked in, 936 years of just crawling through shit, and it's amazing. It is so good. By the time we get to the second part is where it becomes like the Fatal Death, which even the title, Curse of the Fatal Death, is kind of a play on like all of those old classic like titles and everything. The Master having the Dalek bumps. They're not breast, they're Dalek bumps. Them not really explaining anything. We'll explain it later. Well, how did you get out? I'll explain it later. They never do. The Master and the Doctor talking through farting, fantastic. And this is where it actually kind of starts to become funny. Even funnier is when the Doctor starts dying over and over and over again. First, he becomes Richard E. Grant, who's a great actor, and just him being like, oh, you're the only companion I've had. You've had tons of companions. No, the only companion I've had. Which, it's kind of funny because Richard E. Grant will later on play the Doctor a second time and then be in Doctor Who and the New Who stuff. So after he's gone, we see Jim Broadbent becomes the Doctor. Fantastic actor. Everything from, like, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Moulin Rouge, the bartender in The Crying Game. He's been around for years. He's great. Of course, he instantly dies, and then it's Hugh Grant. Like, oh my god, Hugh Grant's fantastic. And then the big twist is once he gets regenerated for the last time, it's Joanna Lumley. So it's a female Doctor. And it's his it's the Doctor's 13th cycle. It's the last one. So it's like, oh my god. So even when we get to New Who, like, you can't help but think, like, Stephen Moffat was like, you know what, the 13th Doctor's gonna be a woman. So I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit of fortune telling and stuff like that. The Doctor, or the Master being like, I'm going to renounce evil. And then, of course, I love when the Doctor finally becomes a woman, and she's like, ooh, the sonic screwdriver has 3 settings. It's fantastic. It's really, really funny, and I really enjoyed it. And then her and the Master just walking off into the sunset together. I was like, you know, it's actually pretty fitting. Like, I really did enjoy it. So after that, like I said, it's going to be a 2-for-1. The next story, the unofficial story for Doctor Who, Scream of Shalka, came out in 2003, so it's kind of the 40th anniversary special. It's okay, like, it's not great. It's Flash animation, which for somebody like 2003, I was in school learning how to do web design and Flash animation, so it's kind of ironic, I guess. Like I said, Richard E. Grant once again playing the Doctor, so that's really kind of interesting. Derek Jacobi playing the Master, who, again, in New Who, he will once again reprise that role as the Master, so that's really kind of interesting. And then, so I think it's 6 episodes, and each episode's only like 10 to 15 minutes long. But in episode 5, David Tennant plays a voice. So this is 2 years before, like, Doctor Who was, like, brought back with Eccleston. So it's like 3 years before David Tennant plays the Doctor. But it was actually pretty entertaining. So the whole premise, the meteor shower, monsters from the ground, lava everywhere, it just, for me, like, I kept trying to get into it, but it just kept dragging. Again, it's one of those, like, maybe if it had been picked up as an animated series, I would have been more into it. But this particular story, I don't know, maybe it's Richard E. Grant, it felt really flat to me. And then I don't understand, like, the whole, like, Derek Jacobi's great as the Master, but he's basically, he's a robot. It's not even the Master, so I have no idea what's going on. But overall, it is okay. For a 40th anniversary, I did want a little bit more. So, curious what you think about both of these, Curse of the Fatal Death and Scream of Shalka. Some people do actually talk about the Shalka Doctor and think he is a regeneration, especially with, like, stuff that's going on with Doctor Who right now. So, curious what you guys think. Go ahead, let me know, and I will see you guys next time.